What's cracking, team? This is live from Smögen on the Swedish west coast, August 2020. This is Valis Mobility video number 31. This week we're gonna focus on the spine, how to warm it up. This is early morning on a beautiful summer's day. Gonna do 7 moves, all based on limbering up the spine. First one is Spinal Waves. We've done this before. You're basically putting your head, chest and then crotch in a synchronized fluid motion. You can see I still have some stiffness that I'm working on. Really try and put your chin, chest and crotch in front of you. Loosen up the shoulders and move it. Moving on to something simpler. Just call this spinal flexion and extension with increasing range of motion. Basically, I'm looking up and I'm looking down. For each movement, I can proceed to bending further forward and hanging back even more. Very simple move. You can do it at the office or wherever. Requires 0 warm-up. In fact, this is warming up in itself. After this, we're gonna do something that all of us with a smartphone need to do. We call it the AntiTexting neck stretch. Basically, I'm placing my fingers on the chin and I tuck my chin back, creating sort of an ugly position, but I'm doing the necessary counter movement for all those hours of looking at our phones that I know we're all guilty of. Very simple, just tuck your chin back in, 5 to 10 reps. Moving on, sideways, in Latin that is lateral. We're gonna move and bend from side to side. We call this lateral flexion. Starting with my neck, moving a little bit further down in my spine, letting my fingers slide on the sides of my body until I can't get any further. Then I can make things more difficult by raising a hand and getting a full lateral stretch on each side. When I lift my arms, I get a good lat stretch. Very simple to do. You can do it in uncomfortable clothes too. To get the movement going, I'm just going to do some rotations. So far we have mainly bended. By rotating clockwise and then counterclockwise, starting from the top and going down lower into the spine for each rep. I'm simply opening up whatever small joints I have. Life isn't always about having perfect mechanics. In fact, we need to limber up. So spin, then when you reached the midway point, spin the other way as long as necessary. Starting from the top, loosening up your spine, your shoulder blades, your neck. Really get that full limbering body experience. After this, we are going to move further up into the spine, in the so-called T-spine or thoracic spine. I'm sitting down in the bottom of a squat, which means I'm isolating my lower back and I can only move further up. I lock my foot with my hand and raising the other hand up towards the sky. Call this bottom of squat T-spine rotations. I'm doing alternating reps left and right, really making sure I'm opening up my upper back and my shoulders while also opening my hips in the bottom of the squat. This one is a personal favorite. It does wonders for pretty much everything. The bottom of the squat should become a resting position after some time of doing it. Moving on to the final movement of the day. We've done this millions of times before. This is your basic yoga flow. We do the down dog to up dog. I'm looking up, extending, and I'm looking down, getting a good shoulder hamstring stretch. So basically, with some loaded shoulder tension, I'm opening up the front and I'm rocking back and I'm opening up the posterior or the back. Just cruising and flowing. Connect with your breathing if you can. Try not to relax completely and crash your hips onto the ground. I would rather you have them slightly in the air. This may irritate someone's lower back, but if done correctly, it does wonders too. And that pretty much does it for today. That was 7 movements. I say namaste, we are done. And I thank you very much for tuning in this week, and I hope to see you again next time for number 32 out of 52 in this Valis Mobility video series. Cheers guys, thanks.